So hi, I'm Wafa Hussain from Timeline. Welcome to Timeline Conversation and congratulations for securing 33rd rank.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So how does it feel?
I think it has yet to fully sink in, and it's a huge relief because finally you're out of the cycle that is there, and uh, I don't know, it's very joyful, but yeah, I'm yet to fully believe it and fully internalize it.
So from BTech to civil service.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's that journey?
So it was mostly when I was doing my BTech in my third year, we had to do internships.
Okay.
And it was after doing that internship that I realized that that sort of a technical work was not something meant for me. And uh, I was looking for something a bit more public oriented, a bit more service oriented, that sort of a work line. And that is how I started thinking about alternate careers. 5, 6 months later, like it took me some time, but I finally figured out the civil services might be the right career choice for me.
How was your family support? Like they were supporting from the, initial stage or
Yeah, so something uh, when I first decided I wanted to do this, so earlier onwards that I said to my family that okay, I need time to make this decision. Like, don't pressure me into a decision or out of it. So they did not say anything. I made that decision, and once they knew that I wanted to pursue this as a career, they gave their full support. So even though others recommended that first take a placement, maybe do some work and then try for these exams, they were supportive from the very beginning that you can start preparing now onwards. And I think every time that I did not clear this exam, especially in my third attempt and my fourth attempt, and both these times, the day when the results came, I had a talk with my parents, and they said then and there that they will support me no matter what, that you have to keep trying. And based on that assurance, I knew that I had to keep going. So that was a big boost for me.
and you reached the interview step as well, right?
Yeah, in my fourth attempt, I reached the interview stage.
Okay. So, a lot of students are pursuing and they really wanted to be an IAS or IPS officer. So, what suggestion do you want to give them?
I think right now, one of the biggest challenges, especially for those who are preparing, is as you said, there are a lot of institutions, there's a lot of noise around,
Yeah.
a lot of free advice is given, and it is very hard to choose what to do, what not to do. Uh, to develop that is like a difficult thing, but also something necessary. And if possible, it's like identifying some mentors, or for me, it was like watching talk talks because I did not know any particular person in service already. I did not have anyone to guide me personally, or it was interacting with other senior aspirants who had maybe written mains or uh, given interviews. Like, you need mentorship of these people to help figure out what to do and what not to do. And the rest, it's like whatever you do, the syllabus is the key and previous year questions are the key. So if what you're doing is aligned with these two things, it's aligned with the syllabus and it's aligned with the previous year questions, then you're going in the right path. Otherwise, you need to figure out, like,
And
you need to figure
the
out something
online
else.
platforms are also deluged with the, lot of people, and they are calling aspirants. Do you want to join this institution? Or yeah,
Uh,
so that's why they are very much discombobulated to choose the right one.
yeah. Also, I think particularly post COVID, I've started seeing that. Like, so when I started my preparation, I started in 2018. At that time, uh, there were very few online platforms as such. Like, there were a few websites and all, but a dedicated platform was not something you saw. Even most offline coaching centers had only offline classes. Now everyone offers online classes. There are a lot of free initiatives that run on Telegram, like all sorts of material you find on Telegram. There are YouTube channels. So, on one hand, it is good that everything has become cheaper. But on the other hand, there is a glut of information. And the biggest problem is it creates a lot of FOMO. Like there's a lot of anxiety and panic created. Uh, I don't know. Right now, I feel this is something that is missing in the UPSC market as such, because free resources are there. So if there is some sort of a curation, okay, like this is for geography, this is enough, or that sort of a thing, or maybe these classes are enough. This initiative is enough. This is all you need to do. You don't need to check on something else. That curation is missing. And because it's missing, I think you have to figure that out on an individual level. So it is a good practice that maybe after you watch a few strategies or topper talks or listen to some teachers, mentors sessions and all, you figure out your book list, you figure out what you want to do, and then you stick to that. You don't divert. Uh, so even if some shiny new material comes, you don't choose that. You stick to what you have. So that is necessary.
We got a lot of questions from the aspirants. So I just want to ask that. But before that, I really want to know if you have any references so that will help them.
Reference. Okay, so here I will be talking only about things that I have personally used. So I think for me, the most useful thing was Dipin sir's current affairs classes. And this was particularly because earlier my prelim score was good, but in mains I was stuck a lot, like in GSN especially. So Dipin sir's classes helped me to improve my GS scores. So that is something I would. The only problem with Dipin sir's class is that it's very expensive and time consuming. So it's maybe not suitable for all, but in terms of qualities, there's something I'll recommend. Then there are a lot of free initiatives. Uh, like I think for almost everything, even classes and all, I've found that जैसे आतिश माथुर sir resources are very good for GS2. So he has, I think, almost everything available for free. Even current affairs or prelims, I used to refer to his final lap and stuff like that. So there are a few teachers who are really good subject wise. Right now, I'm not compiled a list, but maybe later I can.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what is your take on that exam pattern?
So mostly like the pattern is similar in the sense that the themes repeat. So for prelims and mains, prelims, I will say the themes repeat. Uh, Mains also, but first I'll talk about prelims. So the type of questions, there are changes. Like I think last 2 3 years we have seen assertion reasoning questions coming. Then last year I think there were three statement proof questions. A new sort of question was introduced. So there are always newer patterns of questions that come, but overall the theme stays like the themes covered are similar. So I would say that covering PYQs is still the most important thing that you can do in this exam. Uh, Similarly with mains, I would say that I think prelims is more dynamic than mains. Like you can see the changes in prelims more. In mains, the pattern is still very similar. There are small changes here and there, but the level of the students who are writing the answers, that is changing. So students themselves are innovating newer stuff. So what was like extraordinary 2 3 years ago is now common in every topper's copy right now. So as students, you have to evolve your answer writing. So that is a challenge in mains.
So I have one question. Like, how easy or difficult for a UPSC aspirant to come so far away from their homes and living a life of so much uncertainty in the UPSC preparation?
Yeah. So see, this exam is one, whether you're at home or you're away, there is already a lot of uncertainty in this exam. And when you're away from home, there are a lot of other challenges also, especially in a place like Delhi where it's very expensive. Then the food is not good. There are health issues caused. So nowadays, more and more people are realizing that it is better to stay at home and prepare from there online. Like I think 10 years ago, it was almost necessary that you have to come to Delhi. But right now, we are seeing that a lot of people who are in the list, many of them are preparing from their homes or from their home states. And So because a lot of stuff is available online right now, so that access is there. Rest, uh, that uncertainty will remain throughout this journey, whether you are at home or you're away. So some people want to get away from home because there is the home environment might not be that supportive. There are other problems at home. You want some freedom, so you move out. So all that is also there. So you have to make a personal decision at the end, and whatever suits you. But no matter what you choose, there will be uncertainty that is built into this exam. So that will be there.
Since you talked about Delhi, how was the peer?
The peer group.
Yeah, peer group.
So initial, like in my initial 4 years, even though my home was in Delhi, like my parents were staying there, so I was at home only. They were working there. Right now they've shifted to Kerala.
Okay.
Then for the next 2 3 years, I was in Delhi, but I was in Jamia RCA, Residential Coaching Academy. There the peer group was really good. Like I think Jamia's peer group is what really helped me uh, do well in this exam. Like even right now, my roommate is among those who have been selected. So even while preparing for mains, we used to discuss some stuff together. We used to ask each other questions, and so all of those things are not possible elsewhere. And peer groups help you study together.
So, how do you see the Jamia RCS role in your UPSC?
Uh, See, by the time I'd come to Jamia RCA, I'd already given four mains and an interview. So I had an idea what to do. In terms of strategy, RCA did not change too much, except that I still like had the opportunity to talk to a few people who cleared last year. They gave me some inputs that was there, but otherwise, like I knew what to do. The problem was at home, it was difficult to implement. Like I knew what to do, but I could not do it. That discipline was not there. And here, it Jamia helped me to work harder. Like when you see everyone around you studying, you also end up studying. And then there are certain times when you're studying, maybe you've studied for 5 6 hours and you don't feel like studying. So at that time, maybe group discussions helped. And so you did not waste as much time as you were in at your home. And finally, I think just like talking to other people help not just strategy wise, but also more importantly in terms of your mental health. Like everyone is like you make a lot of friends here. They're very supportive of you. You help each other with their problems, and that really helps balance you because everyone here is going through the same things as you, so they understand what you're going through. At home, uh, or your other friends, they may not really understand everything, but here they do. So that support is always there. So all these things are very beneficial.
So, do you have that planning that I wanted to be IPS or IAS or any other area?
Actually, so I was confused between two services, IAS and IFS.
IFS.
And even, yeah, while filling the form, I um, I had not I had not finalized any one service as such. It was only at the last moment that I decided, okay, I'll put IAS first
Do you want to
and
take
IFS
revenue or
second.
foreign?
So revenue I placed third, I think.
Okay.
And revenue IT was third, customs was fourth, IPS was fourth.
Yeah.
So rest of the services, like I didn't have any particular preference. Like when you're filling the form, there are a lot of people who give you advice that this service is better for this reason, that reason. So according to that, we fill, but did not put too much thought into that. But the top two, IAS and IFS, that was a bit confusing for me. So that took me some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, a lot of people are now passionate, and sometimes they feel like our family is insisting us to take this course or do this one. So, what is your take on that?
So the thing is, this obviously the dedication that you need to clear this exam, like you need that passion. Like no one can force you into that. So even if you are studying at the insistence of your parents or someone else, like until and unless you bring yourself to that level of passion required, you won't be able to clear. At the same time, in my personal experience, I have seen people like who started for other reasons. Like I've known people who did not come here very passionately. They were just here because they did not know what else to do. Or maybe they just wanted to try out. Maybe their parents told them, okay, at least try this for 1 year. Let's see how it happens. And some of them have also gone on to clear this exam. And so passion is a necessary thing, but I think there are people who develop it over the course of time and not necessarily initially. At the same time, I feel that from a parent's perspective, if they push you into something like that, I think that is counterproductive only. Like you need your, like every person needs the support of their parents. And if not this exam, then something else. Like this is just an exam at the end of the day. This is just a job. So if this is not something that you want to do, there's no point in forcing that. So at least I feel parents should have that approach and that attitude. But
Mhm.
again, yeah.
Okay, so I've seen the students complaining that the syllabus is as deep as an ocean. Do you think so?
See, I like to visualize it in terms of a T shape, like essay.
Yeah.
So there are certain areas where you need only peripheral knowledge, let's say for prelims. So you don't need to dive deep into that. But there are certain core areas where you need to like go deep into that. And those core areas you can identify by going through the syllabus and the PYQs. The syllabus may be quite vague, but going through the past year questions, you know what areas they're asking.
So you have
So,
to curate the
for
content.
instance, yeah. So, for instance, something like modern history, and in the syllabus there is just only one line mentioned that modern Indian history from 18th century onwards till here. So that one line covers everything. Like there is no particular criteria given. But if you go by the previous year questions, you know what areas they're focusing on, or what areas they are not focusing on, and according to that, you can prepare. Okay, maybe this is what I should focus on, and so on. So yes, the syllabus is very deep if you go just by the syllabus, but you have to curate on the basis of previous year question. And secondly, like you have to find that no matter how well prepared you are, there will be questions that no one expects, that no one knows what to write. And every year in prelims, so definitely, but in mains also, even this year, there are many questions that are bouncers that I'm hearing for the first time and you don't know what to write. So such questions will always be there. You can't prepare for them. That sort of randomness will always be there.
Would you like to give some message to those who are also preparing for the UPSC or could not make into the list this time?
It is uh, yeah, I don't know the message because I went through this last time, like in my fourth attempt, and it is very depressing because that is how society treats it. That and the people attach a huge importance to this result. Like I can see the difference in how I am treated now versus how I was treated then. So it is very apparent.
Yeah.
Uh, Unfortunately, that is the reality. And the second thing is that what is even worse is that this result is often not just in your hands. There's a lot
Like
of
if we are
subjectivity.
preparing, they'll tell like, okay, you can go for some other else or some other thing. Why are you preparing it for, attempting it for third time or fourth time? Then,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
if we secure a good mark, then they'll be like, okay.
Same for me. Right now, I am hearing a lot of people who are saying, okay, this is your perseverance that you've prepared for 5 attempts. It's a very good thing. All of them are praising that. But earlier, that even when I was preparing for my mock interviews, there were a lot of people who were saying, okay, since 2018, you have not done anything else. Are you wasting your
Have
life?
anyone asked you? You could have done anything else.
Oh, that is almost there. Like as the years proceed, it that question will always be there. And some of it is like out of concern because everyone knows this is a huge gamble, this exam. So some of it is out of concern. They don't want you to waste so many years. But even then, when you are giving your best, it still hurts you. So that is always there. Uh, but the thing is, like as I was saying, there's a lot of subjectivity here. There's a lot of luck, if I may use that word. So there's a lot of factors outside your control which influence the result. So you may have tried your best and you may have prepared uh, absolutely everything. Like your preparation might have been better than me. You might have performed even better than me. But maybe because of some evaluator bias or some interview bias, even like who knows what reason is there. So not being in the list has a lot of there there may be a lot of reasons which are beyond your control. And so that is very hard to take. And so it's very hard to give a message as such because anything that I say would be like it will not help them as such. They are hearing a lot of consolation messages and all. All I would say is that uh, I've been through there and it gets better with time. Like you just have to. The most important thing is you have to detach your self worth from this exam. The more you think that you are who you are because of this exam, because of the results of this exam, the more it will hurt you. Uh, but the more you learn to detach yourself, the better it will be. So that is the only message I might have.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you so much for your invaluable time
Thank you.
and the insights as well.
Sure. Thank you.
Again, once again, congratulations.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Bye.